All right, let's talk about the content marketing formula. So this formula works. It's gonna answer the question, sort of this age-old question of, do I really need to create great content? And here's the answer to that question. When you look at this formula, I want you to kind of understand this formula and apply it throughout this entire certification. When you create great content, that creates value. Okay, so you're creating value from somebody, and that value could come in the form of education, inspiration, or entertainment. All right, so those are the three sort of values we bring to the table as content marketers. When you create value, if you create value, you will create an audience. All right, so when there's value, people gravitate towards value. They, because we're all sort of selfish and self-serving, we gravitate towards the things that entertain us, that educate us, that inspire us. So if you create great value, you create an audience. Now, when you create an audience, you can advertise. So any place that there is an audience, you're likely to find advertising. Let me show you what I mean. So here you have an audience down here at the bottom of people that are literally driving up and down the highway or the freeway. And at the top there, you've got some advertising. So any place that you are finding an audience or a group of people, you're going to find advertising, or you're going to be very likely to find advertising. This is how it works online. Facebook has created a tremendous amount of value, and as a result, they've created an enormous audience, billions of people using Facebook, right? And because that value is there, they have created an audience, and because there's an audience, they can now sell advertising as their business model. So if you don't believe me that any place you can find an audience, you will find advertising, assuming it's legal, etc. Here's a great example of this, right? And an extreme example of, if you've been in a ballpark or anything, you're going to see advertising even at in front of the restrooms as you're using the bathroom. So because you've got an audience and because you're creating some value, they are going to put ads there. All right. So when you create great content, you are creating value. When you create value, you create an audience. When you create that audience, you can advertise. And when you advertise, you are driving awareness. At the very least, you are driving awareness for what you're doing, your mission, your products, your services. You can advertise all of those things. So when you advertise, you drive awareness. And when you have awareness, you have the possibility for sales, which again, remember, business owners care about revenues and costs. So if you want sales, you have to create great content, because that great content creates value, which creates an audience, which creates the ability to advertise, which creates awareness, which creates the ability for sales. And the thing is that the reverse is true as well. When you create poor content, you don't create any value, okay? And when you have no value, you have no audience. People will not gravitate towards it because it doesn't educate, doesn't inspire, doesn't entertain. And so you have no audience, you have no ability to advertise, you have no advertising, you have no ability to drive awareness. You have no awareness, you have no sales. All right, so do you need to create great content? What is the formula? Create great content, it creates awareness, which creates sales. But here's the thing, this certification is about the fact that creating great content isn't enough. If you're just going to go out there and create really, really great stuff, if you will, that is not enough. You need to understand the rest of the story, because literally today, great content is table stakes. You have to come to the table with great content, but you also need to understand the rest of the story, which is what this certification is about.